like, wait, I can like do whatever I want right now. So I got up and I came here to do what is I want, right? So I wanted to tell you guys something that I was putting the pieces together to today. And I've been putting this piece together for a while, and I feel like others as well, but maybe not like this. And it's not to like cause like division or nothing, it's more so to have like awareness, because yeah, like, and if it hurts your feelings, I'm so sorry, you know, no one's perfect. Hold on, I'm gonna go outside real quick, but you guys enjoy the musical, you guys enjoy the little cheetah pants. I'll be back in like probably like 2 minutes. 2 minutes or less, you know. I'll be right back. But I got some good teas for you guys. We're gonna sit right here and have a little moment. We could have this in the morning, but I just can't. I can't go to sleep. But like, I can't sleep. And I just can't sleep for some reason. I gotta tell you guys. Pop. But I'll be right back. Oh, you guys want to see my lighters that I got? If I find them. Here we go. So we got this Pebble lighter, and we got this Ocean lighter. Ocean Pebbles. I'm about to tell you guys some information, but I'm gonna go do something first. Okay. I'm about to go do something real quick. I'll leave my phone right here. Vika, in the church has a time machine. Me too, it's in my brain. I'll be back. See? 2 minutes. What are you gonna go to do? Mind my business. No, but back to what I was saying, because right now I'm not gonna like mind my business, but it's kind of nice. But ready? So this is it right here. So there's this guy that I follow. I'm giving him a shout out. Go check out his page. You know, he has some good stuff on there, but I don't know how like aware he is. But he might be very aware. He might be unaware. I don't know. However, he said something on his page, some against like Islam. Not, he didn't say anything about the people. He just said Islam, whatever. Right? Maybe he did. So I'm just sitting. I'm listening to him, and I'm like, I'm not listening to it because he's not talking. I'm reading it, but I'm listening to what he has to say. Like, you know, they've said there's a difference between hearing something and listening. So I'm listening to it, and I'm like, there's something that you gotta take it back. Welcome to the time machine. shout out to whoever wrote these movies and kept the record. Like, thank you guys for that. So in the movie Roots, we see there's like some type of like Muslim connection, right? And in modern day music, I don't know how modern it is, but it's modern to me because I'm just discovering it now. So there's a song called Buena Noche. You guys remember me singing it? Buena noche, mi leva. Buena noche, mi leva. Saludando yo. Saludando todo lo congo. Yeah. Saludando todo lo congo, right? And it was like, Salam alaikum, wa alaikum salam. It's the Salam alaikum, wa alaikum salam. Somo no somo, somo. And like, that's for anyone that, you know, people, it's in the Bible that ooh, okay, next level, another, this is taking it up. Ooh, so ready, Hagar and Rebecca. I think of Rebecca. Come on, about it. Hagar and Sarah. Hagar and Sarah, right there, right? So Hagar had the first son. Oh my God! Tell me how this connects to Jacob too. This is interesting because this is the crazy thing is I was not even gonna say none of this. I was taking this somewhere else, but here we are. So here we are. So ready, Hagar and Sarah, right? ¿Somos o no somos? ¿Somos los hijos de Abraham o no somos los hijos de Abraham? Somos. ¿Somos o no somos? Somos. Santo Tomás, ven para creer. Santo Tomás, ven para creer. Entre tres personas distintas, un solo Dios verdadero. So let me interpret that for you. So 3, see, in the middle. Not like the middle finger, like as in, but that's the one. He's the one, right? He's the one, you know, right? Holy Spirit. Wow. Anyways, Holy Spirit and like Jesus himself, and then what he left for us, you know, that's ourself. Gracias for ourselves, for all of us. The pimples too. Shout out to y'all. Keeping the face moisturized. Okay, shout out to the castor oil that I overdid on my face. But anyways, that's besides the point. The point I'm trying to, where I was shaking that, like there was a video that I literally just watched tonight, which is crazy. Like, lady, she was talking about like, you know, Rebecca had a promise and stuff like that, whatever. Hagar had to leave in the desert. And really, esa sí le tocó mambo. Yeah, Mambo King. I don't know, that's just kind of, you guys know that tagline? Maybe not. But anyways, Mambo Kings, you know, esa le tocó mambo, like in the desert. She had to go in the desert with a kid, like a little boy, in the desert to find people, to find people. People found her. I'm sure she received like help along the way. And, you know, she protected herself. She learned how to protect herself. Damn, she learned how to protect herself. Ways to protect herself. Oh, that's crazy. But yeah, to protect herself. That was a thing, to cover up her beauty, to protect herself. And that is a thing, because that has happened. But does it have to continue to happen? No, but she went out to lands where she didn't really know them peoples, because she was from like what, Egypt? We don't know where she went to. Maybe she went back to Egypt. I don't freaking know. She was Egyptian though. That's where Hagar was from. Interesting enough, right? Hagar was Egyptian. She could have went back to Egypt. We don't know. It's possible though. It's a possibility. Because that was always a connection. And the Bible was always pointing us towards there. Look at that. You guys want to talk bad about the Muslim people? Look at that. They always, hey, where Hagar from Egypt? Look how these my people right here. Can you guys get that? Like, yeah, like, always connected. Hagar was Egyptian, right? Let's look it up. I don't know her from my iPad. Well, hopefully we brought it inside. And if not, we don't use it last time. We got it. Hagar was Egyptian, though. That's I believe so. We're gonna look it up, fact check. You know, I could be wrong. Was Hagar Egyptian? Hagar, meaning fight, was an Egyptian woman, the handmaid of or slave of Sarai. So, how was it the Egyptian woman at that time was the slave? Oh, we'll see when the tables will turn. When the tables will turn. No, what the tables will turn. Then what the tables will turn. Damn, that's crazy right there. But I don't know. I hope that piece, that I feel like that pieces some stuff together. I feel like that brings like unity and peace and understanding. It does. Because per how it was taught to me, it was like that Ishmael was like kind of like, you know, one of the three greats in the Quran stuff. And then what was the one? Isaac was the big one for, you know, the Jewish people and like everybody else. And they always told us, now hate them. And that's why they did the whole thing. And you know, everybody got to sell out. Hey, so them a sell out. You know, you told me that, you know, people sell out. We don't know the reason why, but we could infer because really could be just be chilling, right? But here we are. Here we are, you know, just like, you know. I think this is helpful because talking about stuff like this has helped me, like, and just in life. Like, I saw a video of someone saying, like, grow in wisdom or in discernment or something like that, and, like, reading the Bible. And it's like, yeah, read the Bible and, like, comprehension. They teach us comprehension in school. Like, I mean, and there is, like, a right thing to comprehend from what the text is saying. It's true. It's true. Because you have to, like, you know, you have to, like, read it and then write write what the story was about, but like what you interpreted from the story. So like, yeah, we all interpret things differently, but facts are facts, and you put those in there, it's like, oh wow, that actually does make sense. But at the end of the day, there is a book, you could read it for yourself. That's the great thing about this world, and the great thing about like just like the core message of Christianity. The core message of Christianity is love. That's the core message. I know, me too. I see the churches, right, with the people with like the, you know, like the gay churches. You guys are the only ones that can do that. And I know it's like, oh, you guys are the weakest. It's like, no, you stand on love. Love above all else. Love above all else. However you are as a person, honestly, that's between you and God. I don't care, you know? It's like a greater, like a greater purpose. Like I was watching people and it's like, this is just, all this stuff is a distraction because Jesus Christ did get 12 people and they were from all different types and people just followed him. So it's like distinct, different, not the same, you know, people, but they were all of one. And it could be like all of one and like, you know, under the blood. It's like, so we gonna look different. Like, I think so. I was eating popcorn earlier today. But yeah, it's like that. And it's 1 a.m. I'm like, yo, like low key, I want to talk about this, but what I really wanted to say though is like, I didn't like yeah, I feel like I don't even have to say it. Like, you know, what's understood doesn't have to be explained, right? That part, because it's like that part I could feel like the heaviness and the like it's like a stinging feeling. Like it just does not feel good. Like it's like it has not done much, I would say, healing. It seems like it's like, you know, but it can heal. It can, but it just, for some people, like, you know, you could like feel that, like the energy is like, ugh. It's like, ugh, you know, but we feel like that we're ourselves too. So sometimes we really are a reflection of it. And like, depending however you want to like, you know, I guess in a sense, like take it, you know, like however it is that you want to like you know, take it. Like you could take the you could take the information like as something positive or something negative, but at the end of the day, we're not God. We're not supposed to be judging people. We're supposed to be doing what God did, and that will change us. You know, that's what they say, and it does. Trust. Look, you gotta does. But there's like things you gotta like know yourself enough to like put limits, right? There's a song, right, by this lady. Her name is, I don't want to say lady like she's just anybody. Like there's a woman, um, this woman, you know, that made a lot of good music, and she talks about like she has a song like, oh, this is like my kryptonite type of sort of. She starts naming stuff that's like kryptonite, but that's kryptonite to anybody. So you know, you can't be afraid, you know, of even that because your kryptonite is not, it can't work if you got Jesus Christ. Like, it's like, oh, well, look what we have, and you just like Jesus. Jesús, tú sabes, ellos ya tienen el kryptonite, sí, ellos lo tienen, el kryptonite, sí. Dicen que lo tiene Jesús, ellos no saben que eso no funciona ya, sí. Yeah, no, it's not working no more. The kryptonite is void. It can't work. Under the blood covered is more, is better than those. It's better than a chicken, than a goat, and all that stuff that people be doing. You know, real. You know what? Burna Boy say you can bank on it. You could put 100 grand on it, and that's it. Something like that. And the proper plan, you could bank on it. You could bank on it like real life story. Can my kryptonite save lives? Great. Can we all judge people? It's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a. They say you gotta be a good judge of character, so it's like that, right? But I think if you're gonna judge, I feel like you should at least like help. You know, that's what I feel like. If I'm gonna judge you, I'm gonna try to help you because like judging you doesn't get you anywhere. You just look more like dumb and you just pissing everybody off. So it's like, look, I'm judging you because you could do better, but like here's how you do better because you're pissing me off. Like G shit, you know, that's more so like what it is, you know. Okay, you know, that's kind of, because it's like, what's the point of me telling you like, oh, this not, you could do like, you could do this to be better, and it's just a tip. It's just life tips, right? People gave me tips, low key, and now I get mad about it, but that's life. You learned. Yeah, I know. Oye, coge consejo para que llegue viejo, right? That's a saying. Or, oye, apego para que llegue viejo. That's what he said too. But no, basically, what I'm trying to say is like, you know, like people will tell you things, but that's just how life goes, you know? And like the best part of it, though, in my personal opinion, is the fact that you can, like, you know, you could really have a new life, like a fresh new start, like a new beginning. A new beginning, you know, in the world. In the world, you know? Yeah. But Egyptians, Hagar, 2 sons. Why do they want to? Why? They deny his son. They deny his son. That was the first one of under the Abrahamic covenant too. That was the first one too. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm thinking deeply into this. Like, this what I did, you know, just hit the grabber leaves with like the freshest tobacco. So it's like really grounded into the earth, you know what I'm saying? So since that, I just started thinking a little bit and it led me here. But yeah, I think it's really like interesting, like how like we say we're supposed to like love and all this stuff, but like we're just discarding a whole group of people that is clearly stated. And you go by the Bible so much, it's like it clearly states, you know. So, you know, I'm gonna, you know, you can give people the benefit of the doubt, but I want to give now like a you know, observe as an observer. I could be completely wrong, you know. This is not political. This is not a biblical. This is more like, you know, society or whatever. But there was this guy that was talking about in the beginning that was talking about how like he thinks that Muslim culture or like Islam is like demonic or horrible, like this horrible thing. And I just don't think that's like the message, because personally, the reason why I don't think that's like the message is because Jesus Christ was talking about love. That he will be the judge, right? And so another part to that too is like, if you go back into like the history and like the history of like slavery and all that stuff, and if you know like, okay, well, these people were like Muslims and stuff like that, and they ripped your culture away from you. And I'm not saying that to like, you know, I don't know my full culture either. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know everything about like everything. I grew up here. I have more like customs of here, so it's like I wouldn't know either as much. So, and that's like, you know what I'm saying? So, I would like to know if that standpoint, not me, but I hope God searches and that answer comes to the light. Like, is that targeted as of like something that stems from like racism or from something that happened like long ago, like that whole mentality? Is it like is him, well, I could really say the whole thing. I'm not like talking on my Snapchat. Well, sorry. Okay, but anyways, so yeah, like, is this something that like stems from like long ago and it's like poking through like, oh yeah, like these people are bad, or like let's make these people seem so bad and all this stuff, and just like demonize it to a point. And then like in reality, it's not even like that. Like it's a whole thing, and it's like, why would they do that? It's like, why would they do that? And I'm thinking like, is his mentality like that? Is this like a continuation of like trying to like fear monger and rip culture and not allow true connection with oneself happiness? Are they like, do you think they would really do that? That's crazy. But there's another side of me that's like, maybe he has that type of connection and he's just not fully aware. And it's like, if you really follow and believe in Jesus Christ, you will like be able to like, oh, maybe I should not hate on these people like that. Like maybe I should just like preach my message and let the world be the world. Like that's, you know, that's it. You can move on, you know. You get it. Because it's like, to say this is bad, it's like, these people are bad. It's like, why so much like attacking of one people? Someone said today, oh, they always attack us because we're chosen. The faith is attacked. The faith itself is attacked. The faith is attacked. It's attacked. It's an attacked faith. But they don't believe in Jesus Christ though. And I'm laughing because, you know, it's not about the system. It's about how that even way of living was even birthed. Like how did that happen? You know, what did Hagar call God, and what's the name of that guy right there? She called him Elroy. Is it? Let me see. Hagar. Okay. So it says, Elroy is a Hebrew name of God in the Bible that means the God who sees me. Like, yeah, I see you, girl. Right? Okay, so it's like, yeah. So, yeah, like, yeah. So how is that birth? So it's like they, and it was like that's a real like woman. That's like a real. I feel like thinking about it, like processing it. It's like a real big womanly like type of thing because she was the one that said it. She was the one that said Elroy Hagar. It was a woman, and so you know clearly things happen to people, and if you like look, not like appealing, and I know people argue this all the time about like there is like some people like don't have much going on up here, and that because they got a lot of like probably broken stuff in here, we like in here, and they're like their soul feels it, and so they just be doing crazy stuff, and that's not really an excuse, but you know that's not an excuse, but it's there's it's science. I can't get over it. It's science. What can I say? It's science. Are you calling your slow? No, I'm not calling you guys slow. Where did I say that? When did I say that you guys are slow? But anyways, it's like no, like I'm not saying that you guys are slow. What I'm saying is like you like just reacting off someone's body, like just like not being able to control yourself where you do something you're not supposed to do, like not controlling your urges like that to that degree. But honestly, like me drunk night text somebody, they're willingly, but it's like damn, I'm taking advantage of their emotions because I'm not feeling them like that. That's messed up. That's wrong. You get me? If I were to do something like that, it's like damn, like that's low key. Like you kind of did. Like you emotionally didn't value them. That's for men and women. That's for anybody. I don't do this type of stuff. You know. That was many moons ago. Anyways, so if you like in a relationship with somebody, right, and like you or no, let's say not. You're not in a relationship with nobody. You're just single. You're a player. You're on the prowl, and like it's low key kind of it is to like use somebody that you don't even like when you know emotionally they're gonna be like, oh my god, this is it. That's wrong. That's so wrong to do. It really is. I'm thinking about it right now. It's bad because you are taking advantage of that person because you could tell they're emotionally there and you're not emotionally there. That's taking advantage as well. It really is. It really is. Or like even like you knowing what like sex really is and like you just do it with someone that doesn't understand it and the way that you understand it. That's taking advantage of that too because you are experiencing something completely different than that person. It's like that's just not right. So that's an important reason why also to be like celibate. That's actually very true because it's like you want to be on the same level. You get me? You get me? Yeah. So this is a breakdown of why I think like older men, because me, when I was like 16, 17, I may have talked to a 20 something year old. I may have. Do I see something wrong with it? I'll be honest with you. No. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I believe that they were they were taking advantage as well. Other parts of them were taking advantage. But mentally, like emotionally or whatever, they were right there with me, I feel like. Well, maybe not. Maybe they had a little bit more love in me. Like maybe they did. And I was just, out here like, whoa, no babies though, thank God. I wasn't like that, but but if you don't have no kids and you may have done stuff like that, you know. But it's like I feel like mentally you must have like thought like me, right? Because they seem to have. I'm gonna be honest. I've seen people like that, and they last. They last a couple years for real. Younger person, older person, and they last. And it's because like mentally they were there. One person may be damaged, but like mid-20s, I don't think you're that bad. You're not that in the deep end, I don't think so. And like a younger person, I'm not like saying this in a sense of like, go do this. No, I'm saying in a sense of like, this does happen, but you shouldn't do it because you should be paying attention to other stuff. You should be like making your mind better, your spirit better, your physique better. So when, the time comes, because the time was going to come, boom, you meet the person and that's it. and you get everything. You grow up just the way you're supposed to. Real stuff, but all the other stuff happens because we're distracted. No, but for real, the whole point of this live was just to connect the fact that Hagar is an important person and what she birthed was beautiful. And everyone, no one, I feel like we don't give her enough credit. Everyone want to talk bad about Hagar, like, oh, Hagar didn't give birth to the, sorry. Hagar didn't give birth to the promise. The promise was Isaac. And it's like, okay, blah blah. Like, okay, go ahead. Like, go ahead. Go ahead. Like, that's what you want to go. It's fine. But give one time for my girl Hagar. Looking out from the beginning because she know these men don't have brain cells. Pero we can manage them because God is great. What he took out of you, I got it here. Take this plate. Oh man, you're waiting too long is no, I'm not gonna say no words that rhyme with breaks. Anyways, nah, but for real, I'm giving it up, all love to Hagar right now, because shout out to her. Yes, yeah, it's crazy though, because the men, it seems like the it's like they're like, you know, very like machista type vibes, you know, like this isn't a scary thing, but you know, llégale. No, for real though, for real. So yeah, you know, let's continue. So hey, shout out to Hagar. God bless Hagar. God bless Hagar for real. You know, God bless Hagar for real. Like wherever you at in the spirit with God, with Jesus. Like, you don't think Jesus want to meet Hagar? Like, you think he mad at Hagar? You think he beefing with Hagar? You think he's like, you did not give birth to the promise? It was Isaac. That's why I came through. It's like, thank you, Father. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you so much, because you are the dad, the fathers of the fathers of the fathers of the fathers of the fathers, the father of the father of the father of the fathers. Elroy said, here's my only son. Boom. And not gonna lie, this family tea getting a little deep, but this is all side pieces. I'm talking about like, this is all like, meow, meow, meow. This is, I'm not adding or nothing. This is like me interpreting and putting in rumors, but read the Bible for yourself. I am not an expert. I'm just myself, okay? And I am not a perfect person. And like I said, I put the tobacco I put the tobacco in the gravelly and I went outside and I was cheating my friend, okay? So what's the matter, Yukayu? Okay, you got a problem? I'm really feeling this. Like, this is it right here. This is the fucking it right here. This is it. Not gonna lie, I'm live right now, Lali. Remember you're live right now. Porque yo puedo decir algo funny y puedo de que hacer algo así de que chuki. Like, Lali, you're live right now. But anyways, shout out to Hagar though. I love you, Hagar. Shout out to you, girl. Shout out to you, because you really is like, that's the real deal Holyfield. I was the one, not the two. Well, she had the first son, so I'm just saying, it was clear. First is hate, but then what they say, first is worst, second is best. Hey, less. Hey, the worst, if we at the bottom, we're in the soil, you know, the worst. The bottom, they don't like us. They're like, you peasant, you thorn in my side. Get out of here. And you just like, say less. The Lord who see gonna be with us, okay? Right? She met a good man along the way. All right, let's go. Come on. And they had 3 more kids. This is just that on. We don't really know what happened to her, because people won't be telling her story. Like, what's up? Wait, let's just give Story a really cool story. Right? Let's give Hagar a really dope story. What happened to her when she left in the desert? The God who sees. So bam. Hagar meets a great man with a camel. Shout out, because this storytelling style is a girl, I forget her name. Damn, show me posting video, but it's this lady though. It's this lady that she be telling. She's a relationship coach. She tells women how to date. She properly helps them, and she gives example with the animals, right? But we're not gonna use that same thing. But we gonna use her little oomph, because we talking about relationship, and she got that oomph. We got that fire. She got that fire. Anyways, because she tells the stories really good. I love this little. I love this acting like this is a mic. Like, this is my shit right here. Like, who am I? I literally be like this all day. Who am I? I'm myself. I'm still me. Just like this. I be like this all day with a mic. Duh, this is cozy. Like, duh. I be like this all day. Come on, come on. Anyways, let's continue. So this is what happened. So Hagar, Elroy, all right, let's go. Turn the lights down low. Okay, maybe not turn the lights down low. Maybe it was more like, I'm going to the desert. Da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-dum. They just kicked me out. Da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. They kicked me out my house. Da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. But it was like bleep, I shut the drought. Da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. I was the first one. Da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. To let one out. Da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. And it hurt you, girl. Da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. And you said ow. Da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. Sarah over there saying like, I got this heifer, this cow, I got her out my house. I got this heifer. No, kidding. Sarah was like, oh, I have my man and myself. Her man in the closet, like, oh God, I'm about to kill this kid because I can't believe what I just done did. My heart and soul I sent away. Oh, I'm such a kid. and then God was like, oh my man, y'all making this way longer than I thought it was gonna take. Jesus Christ, won't you come and take these people off my plate? Cause making them, I swear, feels like a mistake. Come back. It won't be too late. Jesus said to God, I'm gonna leave them to you. Because these people, man, I gotta leave a ram in the bush for you. Oh God, send another one. Jesus Christ. For you. This is for us. My cousin used to say, God left. And he was like, I'm tired of y'all. Like my dad just popped up. I blew up and my daddy just showed up. Who sacrificed themselves? Jesus Christ. That's why you gotta beg him up. It's like, hey, I'm the one. Hey, yeah. Yo, Loki Lolly, remember you're alive right now. Cause I'm really giving you guys a little bit too much personality. And it's like, I ain't Lolly, it's too much. You're going a little too much. It's like, yeah, Loki feels kind of cool. But I feel a little shy, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, I know. Don't look at me talking about looking. I'm like, it's okay. You're high of the devil's lettuce game. The devil's lettuce. Not gonna lie, I'm not trying to sound like racist, but like, if it's coming from the soil and it's natural, is it natural? Let me see something. Let's see how long ago cannabis was alive. Okay, how old is a marijuana plant? How old? So I'm taking it literal, like, why not? We have time. Do we have time? I'm not going to the gym in the morning, so we have time. How old is marijuana? Marijuana. The cannabis plant is millions of years old as a biological species, having evolved in the steppes of Central Asia, at least 12,000 to 28 million years ago. Human cultivation and the dates back at least 5,000 years, with the earliest written medical records appearing around 2700 BCE, before Jesus Christ. The people was maybe not smoking shisha and taking flight, perhaps. That was funny, but that was actually kind of correct. 5,000 years. That's a long time ago. Species timeline, fossils, record. Why are you guys giving me this? I didn't click that. Species timeline, fossil record, and genetic studies show cannabis evolved. We're just gonna say this is true because we don't have anything else that says it's not true. You know? If God tells us, hey, no, Lolly is really 2,000 years old, they made it up, then we gonna tell y'all. But as of right now, this is the truth. Pay attention to the world. Anyways, that's just like, I guess, how you like debunk stuff or like prove stuff. Tried and true. The root. Anyways, continuing. So, wild roots. Wild cannabis plant thrive long before human history, spreading naturally across Central Asia. Do you think they be smoking? People out there, they be like, the monks the whole time, really, they just get high so they could zen out more and be like, hit the bong. No disrespect to your culture. I think they're like the people that they can like, you can tell them this type of stuff and they'll keep a calm head. They won't do nothing bad to you. That's like their thing, for, you know. I'm just asking a question. Sometimes questions could be disrespectful, like though. Like, you don't ask those type of questions. Why not? What happened? Wait, you know what, Timmy? You want to ask me what happened to my face? You want to know what happened to my eye, Timmy? Well, this is what happened. You want to know what happened to my pinky? And you know what, Timmy? I'm gonna tell you something. God, I don't know. I'm gonna lose pinky. Timmy, you know what? You know, I don't know why I lost my pinky. Well, I lost my pinky because I had a motorcycle accident, and I always wanted my pinky to come back. And I said, God, please let my pinky grow back. And then my pinky hasn't grown back. But Timmy, I'm telling you the story. So one day when you see me with a pinky, it will be the proof of God. And then people may not see it. Okay, Timmy? What is his name, Timmy? Whatever your name was, Timmy, let's go. Timmy. And it grows back. I'm not gonna tell nobody, but Timmy, you gonna tell the people. They gonna see me. Everyone gonna think I always had a pinky. But you, Timmy, you know that I didn't have this pinky. Remember that, Timmy? And then bam. And then it's like, you know, Timmy never had a pinky before. Timmy's pinky grew back. He can move his pinky. Tell him to do an X-ray on his pinky. X-ray on the pinky. How are they gonna get him to do an X-ray on the pinky? We have no idea. But let's just say Timmy grew up to be this mastermind because he really did see it. And he, yo, this is a cool ass story. You guys want? I'm considering, because this is not gonna go too far. This is gonna end soon. Ready? Because I'm not gonna make it super long. That's a lot. We could tell a story for a whole hour. We don't want to do that. We're gonna cut it short. So Timmy grew up. What was my name? Damn, we got deeper than we expected. So we gotta make up a name now. My name's Raul. Okay. So Raul is, and Pinky. No, Pinky's a pinky. Damn, Timmy. Raul and Timmy? Raul and Timmy? No, we gotta change Timmy name. Raul and Pedro. There we go. So Pedro. Pedrito. Pepito. Pepito. Hey, I'm adding a Pepito story in English. Okay? Pepito Chronicles, let's get it. So, Pepito, so Raul le estaba diciendo a Pepito, so Raul was trying to tell Pepito, like, you know, my pinky. And then one day, Raul's pinky just grew, and Raul grew too, and Raul became successful. And Pepito was like, yo, his pinky, bro, it's his real pinky. I could tell it's his real pinky. And everyone was like, why is Pepito so like obsessed with this man's pinky, bro? Like, yo, he got both his pinkies, bro. He didn't always have a pinky. What did he? And then Pepito starts looking up surgery, pinky surgery. But he forgot what Raul told him. You know, his name wasn't Raul yet, but And Raul was like, oh, but you know what I'm saying? All that stuff, all that goodness. So Raul was like, tiki. And then Pepito was like, yo, I gotta figure this out. And then Pepito started telling people like, yo, Raul didn't have a pinky, bro. And then looking up old pictures of Raul thought he scrubbed the internet, but he remembered. He did tell Pepito, I pray to God, my pinky come back, Pepito. This is that Cuban right there. That's a little Cuban flow right there. And look at that. Where did that accent come from? It came from Hialeah. Yes, it did. And I don't know who's Hialeah, because in my house, we didn't speak like that, but them Hialeah friends, yeah. I had some of you, because my cousins, but anyways, let's continue. With my Hialeah friends. Yeah, Pepito, yo. Pepito, I was like, yo, I told Pepito's in the telly. Pepito, Jesus is for you. This is your moment to shine. Pepito, I told you, Pepito, I told you. So, whatever. So, Pepito still hasn't pulled through and through. And I was like, Pepito, that's stupid, Mom. I thought Pepito know what the fuck I told him to do. And I was pissed now. Because, Pepito. Pepito, you were supposed to know. I told you for a reason. You see my pinky girl. I told you got Diddy. What do you understand? Go tell the word, Pepito. Pepito just sitting there like, how did it grow? How did the pinky grow? How did the pinky grow? What did he do? Did he do a surgery? Pepito, no. I don't know where the story is going. Long story short, Pepito says, you know what? I know what this is about. I gotta tell the story. So Pepito goes on a show. I'm gonna go tell the story now. Pepito says, hey bro, I knew Raul since I was a kid. Raul, he used to listen to some type of music, bro, and used to do stuff. And bro, his pinky grew back, bro. His pinky started growing back, bro. I think he did something bad, bro. And the whole time, nah. And then Raul was like, what do you think about accusations? And Pepito, I was giving you the moment, Pepito. Pepito, tú no sabes de eso, Pepito. Pepito, tú crees en Jesús, Pepito. Mira dónde tú vienes, Pepito. No, my friend, it's Jesus Christ. It's Jesus. My pinky grew back because of Jesus Christ. He said we could do great things. If he never did what he did, I would never be able to do what I do today. My pinky grow back, I healthy every day. Life is very good, enjoyment, peace. I want Pepito to say that, but Pepito, Pepito, I had to learn. I had to say it, Pepito. Love you, Pepito. You did a good job, though, Pepito. That's a good awareness to the people. Not those people bad, Pepito. Nah, but for real though, that's real though. That's really what I wish for people. I know like some people don't like that extra supernatural stuff, and like extra supernatural is not like, oh my god, but nah, I believe it though. Because bro, the man said, oh, let's look it up real quick. What's the verse? I'm honestly having like too much fun right now. I gotta go to bed though, because I do work tomorrow. And beauty sleep is a real thing. I'm gonna put my little pew on my eyes. That should be good to me. But that really is good though. And I can low key use my little machine. I charged it. I haven't even used it. Okay, but not right now. Sorry, I got a little distracted. So back to what I was looking at. But Jesus, he heals the deaf man. The deaf, how do you spell it? Deaf man. It says Mark 7:31-37. Jesus healed the deaf man. All right, so let's read it. So it says, then he returned from the region of Tyre and went through Sidon to the city of Galilee in the region of the Decapolis. And they brought to him a man who was deaf and had a speech impediment. And they begged him to lay his hand on him. And taking him aside from the crowd privately, he put his finger into his ear. After spitting, touched his tongue and looked up in the heaven. Oh, he said a word. He said abracadabra, basically. No, he didn't. He said and said to him, Ephaphata, that is Ephatha, 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 that is, be open. And his ears were open, his tongue was released, and he spoke plainly. And Jesus charged them to tell no one. But the more he charged them, the more zealously they proclaimed it. And they were astonished beyond measure, saying, He has done all things well. He even makes the deaf hear and the mute speak. Say the word. That's crazy, right? What was the other one example that I was giving you guys today? Let's read the one Hagar. Let's read the Hagar in the Bible. Let's read her little story that she got here. We're just gonna hear more about her. Egyptian servant to Sarai and Abram. Surrogacy and conflict. Wait, I thought Hagar took the child with her. What is the seriously? Okay, let me see. Let me look it up because what's T for real? Because I don't know. Did Ishmael know Hagar was his mother? Wait, so they didn't stay together? So they lived together all the way up to their teenage years. Yeah. Living in hostility with his brother. Hagar was exploited. All right, let's read this Hagar story right here. It's that someone so kindly took the time to write. Hanan Goldberg. The 7 things about Hagar that nobody talks about. She was a complex woman who now represents a complex history, and it's one that uniquely interests me. August 25th, 2024. She may only be mentioned in 2 chapters of Genesis 16:21, but I wouldn't let Hagar's relatively short plot line cause you to underestimate its significance. She was an Egyptian slave, a contemptuous surrogate, and a divinely blessed outcast. She was a complex woman who now represents a complex history, and it's one that uniquely interests me. Hagar is the matriarch of the Arab people, my people. She bore a son with Abraham, the patriarch of the Jewish people, also my people. As the child of a Palestinian father and a Jewish mother, I'm acutely aware of the conflict between these 2 people groups and uniquely interested in its origin. There is a prophetic tie between my 2 people, as painful as it has revealed itself to be. There is a prophetic tie between my 2 people. She bolded that. Or he, I don't know. I don't know the name. But she bore, let's continue. As I look into her life and legacy, I see a cacophony of blessing. Cacophony? We're going to look that up because I don't know what that means. Translated, oh no, not translated. Let's see. Look up. It means din. A harsh, discordant mixture of sounds. I see a cacophony of blessing. Okay, I don't know why she's used that word, but okay. Suffering, courage, and injustice. It isn't one that fits easily within a narrative arc we find customary in our modern interpretation of story. Yet it is rich with meaning and profoundly revealing of who God is. Hagar's story holds wisdom and hope as to how we can respond to the complexities that life brings. Something I think we could all use more of right now in the face of ongoing war. In reflecting on her story, I can see more clearly the mysteries and prophetic connection between my peoples. 1. Hagar was uprooted from her home. Before Hagar is explicitly mentioned in scripture, it's likely she is introduced to Abraham and Sarah, then Abram and Sarai, when they journeyed to Egypt in Genesis 12. It was there that, through a strange act of deception, Abraham pretends Sarah is his sister, and Pharaoh takes her as a wife. After undergoing severe affliction, Pharaoh uncovers a scheme and expels Abraham from Egypt with his cattle, slaves, and his wife.
It would make sense if Hagar was part of the exiting party. Okay. Some Jewish scholars believe Hagar was actually Pharaoh's daughter, a princess who was given to Abraham and Sarah as a parting gift. In this transaction, Hagar becomes Sarah's handmaid. So it could be that maybe the guy did sleep with Sarah, because why are you giving me your daughter? Like, it's like, well, that's my wife. And they're like, anyways, that's just something I thought, because, because if it was his daughter, why would he give his daughter away? Like, if supposedly everything was like stop and it didn't actually even happen. Maybe it didn't happen. It was just the thought of. Anyways, continuing. So it says Hagar becomes Sarah's handmaiden. There are a couple exegetical traditions about this transition. In one version, Pharaoh gives his daughter Hagar willingly to Sarah as a handmaid. In another, that doesn't make no sense. Ain't nobody doing that. In another one, Pharaoh signs over his property, including her, to Sarah in their marriage contract. Not gonna lie, that kind of makes more sense. Continuing though, and if she didn't make the transition from royalty to servanthood, moving from her Egyptian homeland to the foreign Canaan must have been an intense adjustment. Hagar was exploited. Hagar entered this family story at a pivotal time. Abraham and Sarah has been promised progeny. Let's see what this means. It says offspring. Progeny. How do you say that? Progeny. Okay, a descendant. Abraham and Sarah had been promised progeny or progeny. Progeny, let's go with that. But they were aging quickly. Sarah found herself to still be barren after over a decade of waiting. So she took the matter into her own hands. She told Abraham, "The Lord has kept me from having children. Go sleep with my slave. Perhaps I can build a family through her." Abraham agreed. Sarah took her Egyptian slave Hagar and gave her gave her to her husband to be his wife. Emphasis added. The Hebrew word used, laka, though often used with neutral meaning, here seems to mean to seize, capture, and take possession of it. It is the same word used to describe the way Sarah was taken by Pharaoh to be his wife only a few chapters earlier. In both instances, the word laka demonstrates an imbalance of power. From our vantage point, we see the severe damage that power disparity, what is it? Disparity. I low key would just use discrepancy, because what? The power discrepancy, disparity, a difference in level of treatment. Okay, that makes more sense. A difference in level of treatment, especially one that is seen as unfair. Okay, a different level of treatment. Okay, power, the power hustle. Good God, sure enough, it proved to be biblical, foreshadowing of the complicated mess that was about to unfold. Sarah took God's plan into her own hands. Abraham took Hagar, and Hagar conceived. Get back! Anyways, vengefulness in that way is low key might be a thing. I'm just saying. If we are interpreting what she's trying to say, and it's like, it kind of makes a little bit of sense what she's saying. But 3, Hagar and Sarah were pitted against each other. During this period, fertility was deep intertwined in a woman's sense of identity and value. So when the prophetic blessing of an entire people group was bound up in one woman's ability to bear children, I imagine the pressure increased exponentially. Sarah likely felt helpless, hopeless, and frustrated, and projected her weighty feelings onto Hagar. When Hagar conceived, fertility became a comparison trap. It pitted these two women against each other in a dynamic that's familiar in scripture, like Rachel and Leah, or Hannah and Penina. Hagar became contemptuous of Sarah, and Sarah mistreated Hagar. Maybe Hagar was afraid that her child would be taken from her, and she would be cast out once her job was finished. Maybe she was angry about being put in the position at all. Or maybe her ability to bear children while Sarah remained barren became a source of ego. Regardless, it's obvious that the situation created a toxic cycle between the two. Hagar fled into the desert. Hagar received a bittersweet blessing. The angel of the Lord asked her a seemingly simple question that is steep in significance. Where have you come from and where are you going? It is here, at a spring beside the road, that Hagar has an encounter with the divine. The angel of the Lord finds her and asks her a seemingly simple question that is steeped in significance. Where have you come from and where are you going? Where do you come from? Where do you come from? Where do you go? Some, Carnage. This pimple on my chin is like pissing me off, but it's okay. Because only I notice it right now, and it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter, to be honest. Let's continue. it says she knew where she had come from, but the angel knew where she would go. She knew where she had come from, but the angel knew where she would go, prophesying, "Go back to your mistress and submit to her. I will increase your descendants so much that they will be too numerous to count. You are now pregnant, and you will give birth to a son. You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard of your misery. He will be a wild donkey of a man." Wow. "His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him. And he will live in hostility toward all his brothers." The Lord listened to her affliction. Hagar discovered that she too is to become the matriarch of a great nation, blessed with descendants too numerous to count. This is a great sweetness, but she would also become the mother of great chaos, conflict, and affliction. How bitter. Her son would become the patriarch of opposition to the Jewish people, living in hostility towards all his brothers. That sounds more like a curse. Like that's like a sentence, like that sounds like a curse. While the blessing over Ishmael bore resemblance to the blessing given to his father, it contained a marked difference. Connected through Abraham and separated by Hagar and Sarah, Ishmael and Isaac became part of a two ongoing, prophetically intertwined storyline. The weight and bitterness of this prophecy make Hagar's response all the more impressive. 5. Hagar became the person to name God. She was on the side of the road, pregnant, bearing a blessing, and feeling cursed. When the angel of the Lord spoke to her, she felt seen. So she did something no one had done before. She named God. "You're the one who sees me," she said. "I have now seen the one who sees me. O Roy, the God who sees me." Hagar is the only person in the Hebrew Bible, man or woman, who gives God a name. This act of naming historically came from authority. So why does an abused homeless slave woman have the courage and freedom to name God himself? In a reflexive moment of feeling fully known, she boldly declares that which is spiritually and metaphysically true, that God sees and cares for us, especially in the bitter parts of our lives. She trusted God, the one who met her where she was and knew her by name. 6. Hagar saw the prophecy come true. After returning to Abraham and Sarah, Hagar gave birth to Ishmael. As the boy grew up, Abraham prayed that God would include him in the prophetic blessing he received, but God's plan for the elderly Sarah wasn't thwarted or changed. By the time she miraculously conceived and Isaac was born, Abraham was a century old and Ishmael was already 14. God's plan for the elderly Sarah wasn't thwarted or changed. A few years later, then Isaac was weaning. Abraham held a great feast, but instead of celebrating with his father and half-brother, Ishmael was, according to some translation, mocking the occasion. At the time, Ishmael was around 16 to 18 years old, but his behavior was likely more than teen angst. As was prophesied to his mother years before, Ishmael was already living in hostility towards his brother. Sarah asked Abraham to cast out both Hagar and Ishmael, saying, "They will never share in the inheritance with my son Isaac." In a way, Sarah was right. Ishmael wouldn't share the unique calling God planned for the seed of Abraham through Isaac, but Hagar and her descendants were divinely blessed, something God reminds her of again in the desert. Hagar almost lost her child. Abraham sent Hagar and Ishmael into the wilderness with bread and water, but in the heat of the desert, the resources soon ran out, and they wandered beneath the scorching sun. Ishmael was faint, and Hagar abandoned him in the shade of the bush so as not to have to watch her child die. They each cried in anguish, and God heard their cries. The angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, "What is the matter, Hagar? Do not be afraid. God has heard the boy crying as he lies there. Lift the boy up and take him by the hand, for I will make him into a great nation." God provided a well of water in the desert, and Ishmael drank and regained his strength. Again, Hagar saw the prophetic blessing come true. God sustained Ishmael and was with him as he grew into a man and into a nation. The more I explore Hagar's story, the more I come to appreciate her capacity to embrace the bittersweet. She was transplanted, exploited, and expelled, but she was also the matriarch of a great nation, one who was blessed, seen, and heard by God. Even in her flawed humanity and fascinating complexity, I'm inspired by her. I too must accept the bittersweet. As an Arab and Jewish woman, I live this out every day, often feeling the profundity of the paradox found within both nations' blessings. From our vantage point, we've seen how the bitterness of Ishmael's prophecy has played out. His bloodline has been fraught with conflict and hostility, particularly towards his brothers. I've also seen the sweetness, God blessing to Hagar's progeny is why I'm alive today. As a Jewish person, I've also seen the bittersweet nature of being a descendant of Isaac. We are chosen people, set apart and promised a homeland, but bearing his inheritance has also made us a target for a wildly disproportionate amount of persecution throughout history. In a way, the experience of bittersweet blessing is a connection between both ancestors of Ishmael and of Isaac. Although their blessings are not the same, and God has a specific plan for the Jewish people that he has been and always will be faithful to, the Arab people have a place in God's heart. One day, God wants to unite these siblings and all the nations of the world in peace. The words of the prophet Isaiah remind me of that hope. In a way, the experience. Oh, we read that right. Yeah, the Lord will make himself known to the Egyptians, and the Egyptians will know the Lord in that day. Israel will be the third with Egypt and Assyria, a blessing in the midst of the earth, whom the Lord of hosts has blessed, saying, "Blessed be Egypt, my people, and Assyria, the work of my hand, and Israel, my inheritance." Just as Hagar trusted in El Roi, I have faith that one day the descendants of Ishmael and the descendants of Isaac will too. As we trust in the God of our shared patriarch Abraham, we can embrace the blessings and bear the burden of the bittersweet. He is the God who sees, and the one with the plan to redeem and reunite not only our family, but the world. She snapped. Nah, you guys didn't think that was cool? That was super cool. That was super dope. I learned a lot reading this. But that's it. That's a nice little and the night right there. That was really good though. You guys should check it out. I'm gonna put it on my I'm gonna share it. But you can watch. She has a podcast, or whoever wrote this, Inherit Podcast. But it's cool. So the lady that wrote this, she's both Jewish and Muslim. Well, maybe not. She says she's Palestinian. I don't know, that automatically makes her like half Muslim. But isn't that such an interesting story though? How she's like from both places. Because your daughter. Nah, but yeah. That's a really cool little piece though. And I just love it because it really brought to light a lot of things that I said. Yo, it is hot. It said heat advisory on my phone. But look at my phone, my iPad. It's 2:33. Oh yeah, I gotta go. This was fun though. Hagar, you're the